Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir Qurashi. I'm your host. Tonight's topic is immigration to real estate in Canada and United States. I have to introduce you my guest, Laruen Cohen. She's a lawyer in Canada and US. And Fazal Musa, who is also a lawyer from, he just graduated from Leeds University from England, and he's also a real estate broker with City Pro Realty in Brokerage. Welcome. So, Laruen, could you please open your mic and
yes, sir.
Introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, everybody. I am Laruen Cohen. I'm originally from that wonderful city of Toronto, and I'm always going to be a Toronto girl. I still live there part-time, but not right now because I've been stuck in Florida, which is not a bad place to be stuck in the middle of winter. Right now, today was a nice day, but I know past little bit has been a little bit cold. So I'm a lawyer in Ontario. I'm a lawyer in the States, and I'm also a realtor. And I specialize in how to immigrate through real estate.
Wonderful. Fazal, can you open your mic, please? Leave the mic on, and also introduce yourself a little bit about yourself.
Of course. Hi there. My name is Fazal Musa. I just, in July of 2020, I graduated from the University of Leeds for the law program. I'm just into law, just learning the ropes and everything. And I've been working with Mr. Tahir Qurashi as a salesperson, and now just from November as a broker in his brokerage. And I'm just trying to learn the ropes of real estate, understand specifically living in Ontario, in Mississauga, learning the ropes of how real estate and law work in Ontario. And I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful. Fazal is also a member of Education Committee for Mississauga Real Estate Board. Welcome, Laruen. Today is a very interesting subject because everybody wants to know if they invest money in Canada or US. So let's start Canada and then we'll go to the United States as well. Is that how much money, what kind of programs are available? Are they provincial or are they federal? And maybe all of us have a conversation. So I'm going to start with you, Laruen. What is your experience about when people invest in real estate in Canada? What are the program, or they are part of the investor program where people bring in money and invest? So can you give some idea to our viewers?
So it's the stream of immigrate through real estate is really specific to the U.S. because in Canada, in real estate investing, well, here in the U.S. as well, it's not really treated as an active business. And the key to obtaining an entrepreneurial visa in Canada is that you have to be actively involved in the daily management of the business. And in the GTA, it's kind of funny. You guys are in the GTA in Mississauga. It's a 1.5 million Canadian dollars minimum, and in outside of the GTA, it's about half of that. It's 800,000. Isn't that crazy? How everything is double. If you're in the GTA, everything is pretty much double. So, but generally speaking, you would need to have like a real estate business, like a real estate, let's say a real estate development business or something along those lines, as opposed to investing in real estate and using that to qualify for a Canadian visa.
Yeah, I believe that they have venture capital investment where they start up and invest money.
Right.
I just saw somewhere they started this program. They ended actually program in 2014.
Right.
And after 19, they started this program. And Ontario also have a specialized program. And I think, Fazal, you did some research on that, did you?
Yeah, so Laruen touched a little bit on the entrepreneur track about if you want to come to Canada and kind of invest. So there's also another aspect you can get into Canada, in specifically for Ontario. It's called the corporate stream. And basically, if you do have an existing real estate business in another country or another area, and if you are looking into maybe investing in Ontario, The business itself needs to be for about 3 years, has to be established for about 3 years. And it has to, when it comes to Canada, it needs to bring, I think, at least about $5 million with them to invest into the market. It also needs to create about five full-time jobs for either permanent residents or citizens of Canada.
Yeah,
this is always a challenge, is that job creation. It's a challenge in Canada, it's a challenge in the US, because it's like one flies in the face of the other. When you're starting a business, you want to go lean on jobs. But if you need a visa, you can't go lean on jobs. You need to hire people. And you need to show a business plan that supports that. I just did a business plan for a Canadian company that was investing not in real estate and was investing in companies. He was buying kind of struggling companies. And we had to have him hiring people, and he was arguing every step of the way. He's like, I don't want to hire anybody. I go, well, if you want a visa, you have to hire people. So how are you going to get the visa if you don't hire? Well, I don't want to hire anybody. How am I going to make money? I go, that's why you have to make more money. So anyway, it's just always interesting to see clients and how they react.
Yeah, viewers, if you go to Canada website, it has a requirement of having a qualifying business. You need to define what type of business that you need to have in order to qualify. And also you have to hold minimum 10% of the ownership and voting rights in order for you to run a business and go qualify and get a letter of support from the designated organization where you are investing the money, and meet the language requirement. This is also a part of the immigration, and bring enough money to settle when you come in. So you have certain amount of money that you invest in venture capital. I think there was a $1 million up to $2 million. They're thinking about generating about $151 to $160 million under this program, and it's either been launched or is being launched. So there is a protocol that you have to go and fill out what business you plan to do, where you want to invest, where are the needs of the government, where they want the funding, and then you can qualify for those areas. And you obviously, if you're investing money and your language, speaking English or language, you are able to meet the criteria, and you have enough money to settle down, because when you are entering into a new business, it takes a little bit longer time to generate income. Unless you are investing or buying the share of an existing business. So therefore, it's important for you to have enough money to support yourself when you get the visa to get here. So anything else, Lauren, you want to add to it?
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's, one of the challenges is there's been so many changes in the startup and entrepreneurial visas in Canada. They go off, they go on, they go off, they go on, they stop them, they start them. Some provinces have them. Quebec has always been a little more aggressive about them than Ontario, but there's also talk about them bringing back some of the visas that they shut down. Other visas that they shut down, and now because of COVID and shutting down the economy, they want to enhance the economy by bringing people in. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, the government of Ontario and federal government have two different programs, and because of COVID, economy impacted, and they are fall behind with the projection to bring new immigrants into Canada, and those investors probably get the highest priority because they are bringing in the money that stimulate the economy. That would be the preference reason for them to give consideration, Fazal and Lauren.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I mean, but then again, on the other hand, when you think about it, like Canadians, I would think would be resistant to this because Canadians have lost jobs and businesses. So it's almost like we Canadians would want to resist the attracting new immigrants, because let's get ourselves up and running. We're already here.
Yeah. Fazal, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, so just researching a little bit about it, besides, of course, the GTA and Ontario itself being a huge major foreign investment market, there's also been kind of like individuals who are looking into maybe expanding into other provinces themselves, where there might be more opportunity, there might be less resistance for them to actually invest. Because in Ontario, especially in the GTA, there has been many foreign investments that have been made, and even beyond the GTA, specifically in Ontario, there are people especially from the foreign industry who want to kind of invest. So if you're kind of looking into maybe going into a different province, and if you're looking into maybe just expanding beyond just the GTA, I would recommend looking into the provincial nominee system. In that way, especially in Ontario, it is kind of regarded as one of the most restrictive, where you need the most amount of capital, where it's the most amount of restrictions. But if you are a foreign investor looking into maybe investing into the development areas in Canada, albeit in like the Atlantic provinces in Western Canada, look into the the provincial nominee system, and you can maybe find that it might be a bit easier for you to invest.
Yeah, Alberta is a good one. Alberta is a really good province, and they have a lot of grant money for incoming and existing businesses. Alberta's I think that, I know Alberta was, my business partners in Alberta, we teach people how to invest in real estate with little or no money. And we're always talking about the market there and how heavily impacted, especially Calgary has been because of the oil and gas industry. And so as a result, there's huge conflict between the Alberta government and the federal government, like major. There's constant fighting, and it's a lot different than the Ontario. Like there's fighting, but it's different. Of course, there's always fighting with Quebec. That's another story. But Alberta is kind of a very unique province in its place in Canada. So that's a place to look if you're looking at investing and setting up shop.
I think Quebec also have a very special program.
Quebec is very aggressive.
They have very special programs, and if investors are looking to immigrate to Canada, they should look into that. Viewers, if you are a foreign buyer, you're not applying immigration, then there are, especially in Ontario, there is an Ontario Fair Housing Plan in 2017, which imposed 15% tax on foreign buyers. Same thing, I believe, is in British Columbia, because there was a shortage of houses and affordability became an issue. So when you are buying something and then later on you decide that you want to convert into a residency under a business program, you will be able to get some reimbursement back for the tax that you paid to become a landed immigrant or permanent residence.
Right.
So that would be the approach that you have to take. It is always advised. Good thing is we have Laruen Cohen with us. She's a lawyer from Ontario and Florida, that she can advise you, because when you're taking these steps in foreign countries, you must watch the rules and regulations. How are you going to comply with that taxation? Because you need to find out what are the tax implications before immigration, or as a foreign investor in Canada or US, and also how to convert that into your investment portfolio where you can qualify for a residential permit in Canada or there. And so it's very, very important that you do that. So Lorena, how's everything in Florida? How's people doing there in Florida?
It's a lot different than Ontario, that's for sure.
Is it more attractive than us? Is that what?
Yes. I mean, right now it is. Like, people think that Florida is the COVID headquarters.
Yeah.
And I guess in some ways it is, but it's also the COVID vaccine headquarters. And so my mom, who is 70, I'm not going to say how old she is, over 70, and her boyfriend, who just turned 80, they would have been vaccinated here weeks ago, and they still don't have their vaccines in Thornhill. So wow. I think it's all relative, you know. The market here is like I've never seen it in 20 years of being in real estate here and there, for that matter. It's just a crazy market. Everybody wants to invest because Florida is one of the destinations to go to for all the people leaving the cities all over the Northeast and everything. You know, New Yorkers come to Florida. They wanted to get out. It was bad. It's still bad. So Florida is definitely a happening place. And more Canadians, every single day, I get referrals of Canadians that are looking to invest in real estate and potentially immigrate. And one of the things that I'd like to be really, really very clear about is a lawyer is only one of the professionals that you need. And what I do, both in Canada and the US, is manage the process, because you need somebody like Tahir to manage your real estate, or Fazal. You need a cross-border tax advisor. Don't think that it's one size fits all, because it's not. And if you're not immigrating, you need a different plan than if you are. And if you just want to invest in Canada or the US, again, different plan than if you want to immigrate. But you still need a structure. Don't just say, oh, I'm Laruen, Cohen, and I'm going to just invest and buy a property and wherever and just invest in my personal name, because what's going to happen is you're going to pay through the nose in taxes that you could avoid.
Yeah, so the question I have for you is, if obviously, like in Canada too, the realtor do the negotiations, they consult with the accountant, chartered accountant for tax implication. We check with the lawyers, because in Canada and especially in Ontario, the lawyer do the closing.
Right.
Okay?
Not so in Florida.
Same thing, a lawyer does that. In your case, you're also a realtor, correct?
Yes. So I'm not a real estate lawyer. I work with a real estate law firm. I am an international lawyer and a corporate lawyer and an immigration lawyer.
Okay.
But my partner handles the real estate closings. However, in the US, unlike in Canada, the title company, 1 out of every 2 times, the title company handles the whole closing without a lawyer being involved, which
Wow.
I don't advise. I always advise a lawyer should be involved, at least to some degree. But here it's not a requirement like it is in Toronto or the
in Canada, his protocol is this: the realtor is an expert and registered and regulated in Ontario to buying and selling real estate, residential or commercial. Okay, one deal is conditional; it has certain conditions, and then those conditions are fulfilled. Sometimes we have a buyer lawyer review on behalf of the buyer. A status certificate, if it's a condominium or it's a complicated assignment deal where you want the lawyer to review it before you firm the deal, or is a complex transaction that you have the lawyer to finally say that, to make sure what we're doing is legally okay and we are protecting the interest of the client. So then when his all deals is firm, it went to the lawyer. He does coordinate with the mortgage people, send money to the lawyer, and lawyer has trust account, real estate.
An escrow, right.
7 of the Rules of Business Broker Act 2002. We also have a trust account. We deal with a deposit listing. Brokerage hold the deposit until the completion of the date or mutual release or court order. So we have a trust deposit that we are protected up to a certain amount based on the transaction. And we have a ceiling in our insurance. So we have a very regulated system here.
Yeah.
Then we will, mortgage broker or lender does the mortgage financing. And they also send the money to the lawyer. They don't send to the real estate brokerage.
Right.
So according to our Ontario regulations, lawyer is the executor who complete the transaction. And then disburse surplus money or exchange hand, registration and discharge of the property and registration and things like that. So this is how it's done here.
Yeah.
So let's assume we have I'm a CIPS and I do refer my clients to US, and because I don't have a jurisdiction, but I have associate who are CIPS,
right.
And I can work with them, and normally we refer each other, we get a little bit, fee for that. In this case, if I send somebody to you, for example, you are acting as a realtor, then what step that you take when a referral comes to you from, for example, from Canada, say, listen, my guy wants to invest money and also he or she wants to immigrate. So what step that goes one by one, and how much money does he have to invest? Because there is a residency requirement, I believe.
No. There's actually not a residency requirement specifically. So my signature program is called How to Immigrate Through Real Estate. I actually have a training coming up this coming week. It's about I guess you could call it my claim to fame is 10 steps to immigrate through real estate. 8 of those 10 steps are applicable whether you're immigrating into the US or not. So it's setting up your structure, determining your location, getting the cross-border tax advice, getting asset protection guidance. I have an asset protection attorney colleague. So how much? There's no hard and fast number in terms of what you have to invest. My guideline is as follows: 150 to 200, and this is all US dollars that I'm talking now, not Canadian, okay, because it's into the US. So 150 to 200 out of pocket invested into property that's between 750 and $1 million, which seems like nothing in the Toronto market, but here in the US, most places it's a lot. Properties here on average are about half of the price of properties there.
Yes.
Okay. So when for example, today I just shared an opportunity with some of my students. It's listed at 1.5 million. It's a nine unit like a miniature apartment building. Can you imagine 1.5 million for a 9-unit miniature apartment building anywhere in Ontario?
Oh.
Okay. So you buy volume here. Okay. So for that, they would be able to qualify for a visa. They have to hire a couple of people, 2 to 5 people, and it's all discretionary. But the key is that I take you through all the steps, the business plan, the business structure, and you don't want to miss any of these steps in the process, because if you miss a step and you don't speak to the cross-border tax advisor, you're going to be paying the CRA or the IRS a crazy amount of money that you don't need to pay them. And you're going to hit legal walls and you're going to hit obstacles, and it's just better to have somebody that truly has your back. So at the end of the day, that's really what I come in to do, is take you by the hand and say, okay, what's your goal? You just want to invest? Great. You want to invest and potentially immigrate in 10 years? Great. You want to invest and immigrate today? Great. Maybe there's a business that we need to purchase as well to augment the real estate investment. So that's what I do. I come kind of from a place of, how can I best serve your needs? Because it is not one size fits all. And one of the problems, and I'm sure you'll both agree, and having, grown up in Canada and being Canadian, everybody in America thinks, oh, whatever we do in America is the same in Canada, right? And so these big American companies come and say, here, we're going to show you how to invest in the US, right? Yeah. And they show you how to invest in the US, but do they care about how that impacts you in Canada? No, they just care that they're getting their money. That's right. And they're charging $20,000 a year. And as I'm saying this, I get another call in from Canada, from Toronto. So that's really what it's about, is that there are so many American companies that take advantage of Canadians, maybe not even intentionally, and they just are like, this is how it works, period. Oh, you're from Canada? It still works the same way, but it doesn't.
No, but you want to add something, Fazal, to it?
Yeah, so I was when Lauren was talking, I actually, when she was talking specifically about Florida, I was actually interested to ask her, especially I know that in California, there are many California residents that are moving to Nevada, Texas, Florida, places where the state income tax is 0. So I wanted to ask specifically about the foreign real estate market, because I know that California was one of the major industries where foreign real estate would happen. So I just want to ask a little bit more about that.
So I was just on a meeting today, in a Zoom meeting, at an event on Zoom. I don't remember what it was called, but it was the Canada, it was TREB, and the CREA, and the Florida Board of Realtors, and the Global Alliance. Okay, it was at 3 p.m. today.
Yeah, and I missed that. Pardon me? I missed that. I was supposed.
Yeah, it was really good. So the story is, and the story always has been, that Canada may be the second largest trading partner and the second largest investment partner generally in terms of business. But Canada is the first largest investment partner when it comes to investing in residential and commercial real estate.
Yes.
And it always will be, because everybody wants a piece of the Florida market, right? And not only Canada, but think about it. We've got people from South America, because it's right there, people from Europe. I mean, they go to different parts of Florida. Florida is insanely in demand right now. And even though the Orlando market took a hit because of COVID and all the theme parks and everything, it's coming back.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In Ontario, you can see that because of affordability issue, especially low-end market, for example, people moving from condominium with a small family into a condo townhome or semi and detached home, up to 8 to 900,000. My wife is also a realtor, and she bought a client a townhome about 600 square feet for 701 in January. It closed in June 2020. Bought it in December. And guess what? It just recently sold for 920, something like that. Similar town in a neighborhood. 815, 890, like unbelievable what's going on, because obviously higher end property takes longer time. It doesn't impact the high end property ownership, because if they can't afford it, they won't be buying multi-million-dollar houses. So affordability is where the family is going out from a smaller downtown condominium into, they want to buy a house, have a playground for the kids, a backyard for the kids. They need to get out from the condominium, and because the kids wants to go out and play, and they have no choice but to go out and get houses. So we are moving them away from the big city. So Niagara Falls was an area where we have a couple of clients, and now almost $200,000 and 10, 15 offers coming on one single listing.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And Ottawa too. Ottawa's gone insane. I mean, the properties are going for $200,000 over asking in Ottawa. Who knew? I mean,
the one thing I did realize that sometimes the people are not listing properly, because I always encourage people that you are a licensed realtor, you're supposed to be very competent, and you look at the history of the property that has been sold, and not just go up and down because of the hype. Calculate the true market value and list it properly. Sometimes they just say, I sold over 150,000 over asking price, but if something was sold for 800,000, you're listing for 650, obviously it's going to show over the asking. But why don't you calculate the value and put that in, right?
So especially I know that in the past in the past 2020, due to COVID, with Canada lowering the interest rates, I know that I was looking at some properties, and in Milton, which it's a developing city, townhouses are going for 150, 200,000 over asking price. And it's all because of the interest rate. So anyone who is looking into investing into Canada, maybe try looking into maybe different regions or different provinces, because it's getting too expensive to live.
No, this is.
Or look to Florida. Sorry, just saying.
So basically, when somebody comes to you and apply for the same thing in immigration in Canada, when somebody looking for immigration, I think they are consultants and lawyers. They both practice in immigration. So best advice to viewer is to search out, get some references, know people who are involved, can be trusted. Because I have a couple of requests through my social media network. They asked me, can I trust this guy? I recommended a lawyer for somebody, and they asked me for immigration from Italy. He's from Pakistan. He was in Italy, and he said, can you please recommend somebody? And I recommended 3 lawyers. And he says, can I trust them? I say, of course you can trust them, because the practicing professionals here, they have a license, they have a code of ethics, and they have a duty to the client and provide you honest and professional opinion and guidance. And they specialize in immigration. So, and I think he went ahead and he hired him. And it was just a service, community service to people. So I ask viewers, if you are planning to immigrate based on investment, you will need to consult a real estate broker. You have to talk to the lawyer. You have to talk to the chartered accountant to make sure tax implication. Before you move into Canada or USA, when you buy the property, you invest it, and then you apply for it, or you are applying during this, you may need to get a visa to come in and view the property and discuss go through legal paperwork and also financing. So I think we're going to take a break. We're going to talk about the financing also. When the foreign guys coming, majority of them, when I did my CIPS, they're saying they bring cash and they buy cash. There's no credit issues because they buy cash. So we're going to talk after a break. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host tonight on Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment, and we're talking immigration through real estate. And we'll be back after a short break.
Foods, now open in Barhaven area, Ottawa. Pick up or dine in. Also available on Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and DoorDash.
$2020 का लाजवाब ऑफर, जहां हम 0% फाइनेंसिंग पर आपकी मनपसंद कार दे रहे हैं, फ्री विंटर टायर्स और साथ ही हम मुफ्त ऑयल चेंज भी दे रहे हैं, वो भी उम्र भर के लिए। अभी आएं और इस लाजवाब ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। जल्दी करें, आपका खुशामदीद हमारे आउटलेट में, जो कि 60 क्वींस प्लेट ड्राइव एट इंटरसेक्शन क्लोज टू हाईवे 27 एंड रेक्सडेल अपोजिट टू वुडबाइन रेस ट्रैक। जल्द से जल्द इस ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। आज ही कॉल करें सुनील अग्रवाल को 647-703-0218। डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, LG, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence। देखिए खेल की आवाज हर पीर शाम 7 बजे। आज की बात समीना जबीन के साथ हर मंगल रात 8 बजे। इस्लाम इन मॉडर्न टाइम हर मंगल और जुमा शाम 6 बजे। कनेडियन मोज़ेक हर बुध रात 8 बजे। रियलिटी कॉफी टॉक हर जुमेरात शाम 7 बजे। टुनाइट टॉक हर जुमा शाम 7 बजे। देखिए तकरार, कीजिए तकरार समीना जबीन के साथ हर रोज रात 9 बजे और रिपीट सुबह 9 बजे। आप देख रहे हैं आवाज एंटरटेनमेंट, आवाज आपकी, चैनल हमारा, जुड़िए हमसे।
Welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host. Today we're talking about immigration through real estate. Viewers, it's very important that you seek professional advice from competent professional in law, immigration, and chartered accountant when you are investing in real estate in Canada or through immigration in Canada and United States. You need to speak to the professional who have the competency, professionalism, and license to give you a legal advice to protect your interest. We're going to continue our conversation with Laruen Cohen. So what is topic that you want to share now as we try to close up our program in a few minutes?
I'll bet the topic that everybody wants to know about is, how do I get money to buy these properties, right?
Yes.
How do I, as a Canadian, qualify to get money to buy properties in the U.S.?
Yes.
I hear that every single day.
Okay.
So you get it by working with me. It's funny, I had another interview today, and the guy said to me, what is the one question that everybody needs to ask? That everybody, I don't remember exactly, but I said, the one question is, why didn't they talk to me? He just started laughing. But the reality is that there is financing available. Sometimes you can get it from the RBCs and the CIBCs of the world, but it's not always going to happen when you're investing across borders. So you need to work with these trusted advisors, as Tahir is mentioning, because we have connections and relationships that we've built over years of doing this with financing and mortgage experts, and like, could be hard money lending, it could be just traditional financing. If you have a business in Canada, we can get you financing based on your existing business. So there's lots of options available. So don't despair and think that just because you're not physically in the US, you can't get financing, because you can. Did we lose Tahir?
So viewers, I think we have a little bit technical problem with the view, but I think we could do our conversation. Fazal, you want to offer anything?
Honestly,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's a little bit cutting off for me, but would you be able to just repeat the question?
What I'm saying is regarding immigration. I want to talk about a little bit other investment portfolios, startups, another way of getting into the Canada.
So I was just mentioning about our previous conversation. So in Canada, and when I mentioned about like the provincial nominee program in Canada, there are a few ways that you can get a immigration through investment. And that can either be, if you're looking just throughout Canada, it can be from the startup program. But if you're looking, like I said, specifically for a specific province, you can look through the provincial nominee program. And depending on where you want to be, it will depend on the amount of money you need to put in, and as well as like if you need to hire employees, whatever you need to do in order to get that immigration.
Yeah, as Laruen mentioned, that when you are buying a property, even though you are getting a visa or you're immigrating there, banks and lenders are concerned with to make sure that you are able to pay your loans.
Yeah.
And how you're going to demonstrate the income that you have to support your family, and also income to support the business where you invested money, because the cost of living is reasonably high in the United States as well as in Canada, and you need to generate income. You have to pay taxes. Anything you buy, you have to pay taxes, property taxes. If you are an employee, you have to pay employment taxes, corporate taxes. There are so many things involved. So it's very, very important for you need to come well prepared before you apply for it. It's better to get advice from chartered accountant, from a local jurisdiction, so you understand the tax implication. Because if there is a need for contingency funds, if you don't have it, if you invested money and you don't have money to support yourself, and then you will have a bigger challenge, because you need to manage your business if you are investing. And if you get a visa through the startup program or any program, coming to Canada or coming to the United States, there are a lot of expenses that you don't expect if you're coming from South Asia or Europe or other places. So it's very, very important to watch, prepare, and form up a team. So whenever we are buying and selling real estate, I always ask people to form a team of lawyers, chartered accountant, inspectors, environmental specialists, your lawyers. So you have advice. You're going to pay a small fee for your services regardless of what you do. Why?
Oh,
I think he's...
Fine Foods, now open in Barhaven area, Ottawa. Pick up or dine in. Also available on Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and DoorDash.
दो 2020 का लाजवाब ऑफर, जहां हम 0% फाइनेंसिंग पर आपकी मनपसंद कार दे रहे हैं, फ्री विंटर टायर्स, और साथ ही हम मुफ्त ऑयल चेंज भी दे रहे हैं, वो भी उम्र भर के लिए। अभी आएं और इस लाजवाब ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। जल्दी करें, आपका खुशामदीद हमारे आउटलेट में, जो कि 60 क्वींस प्लेट ड्राइव एट इंटरसेक्शन क्लोज टू हाईवे 27 एंड रेक्सडेल अपोजिट टू वुडबाइन रेस ट्रैक। जल्द से जल्द इस ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। आज ही कॉल करें सुनील अग्रवाल को 647-703-0218। डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, LG, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Fine Foods, now open in Barhaven area, Ottawa. Pick up or dine in. Also available on Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and DoorDash.
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, LG, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Hello, welcome to Entertainment. We have some technical problem with my camera, so we're going to close up and give you a final thought about this program today. So, Laruen, would you like to leave a final message to our viewers?
Sure. I just want to say that I'm here to help any of my cross-border investors, my people coming into Canada or the US, with everything from coordinating an investment strategy to helping you develop your structure and invest across borders. My podcast is actually called Investing Across Borders on Apple, on Google, and so on. And you would definitely enjoy listening to that. I'm also on YouTube. I have Laruen ESQ is my brand everywhere. And all my podcasts are on laurenesq.com. And you can even reach me at laurenesq@gmail.com. And you can find me on social media pretty much anywhere, Laruen Cohen. It's a common name, but I'm the only one that's a cross-border lawyer. and a realtor also. So I thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I wish everybody stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, Lauren, coming to our program. Fazal, I want you to sum up the things, then I'll do the final message.
Okay, so I just want to thank everyone for listening. And what Lauren said, I just want to reiterate that it's very important that if you're looking into investing into a new country, to know the individuals, to develop a good team around you. So so you know how it works, and most importantly, that you're safe and you're protected. So if you're especially looking into Ontario, if you're looking into here, you can either go through the Canada Startup Program, or you can look at the Ontario Provincial Nominee Program. Or if you're just looking into maybe going into Saskatchewan or Western or Atlantic Canada, please look into the Provincial Nomination Program, and that will help you to understand what are the basic requirements that you need. Besides that, of course, you will need to develop that team so you and your assets are protected.
Thank you very much, Fazal. Viewers, we have a little technical problem, but you can hear my voice. Today's program was to educate consumers and foreign immigrants who want to invest in Canada or United States, especially in Florida. That's why we invited Laruen Cohen. She's a lawyer, international lawyer in the United States and Ontario. And Fazal is also a lawyer. He's in the process. He's also a real estate broker. So the most important thing is doing due diligence, preparation, prior to doing anything. Like you go to buy a grocery, you make a list of things you want to go and buy, not to miss out the milk or butter. So same thing is when you are investing in a foreign country or you're immigrating to Canada, you create a checklist. What are the prerequisite requirements? That means first of all will be to talk to the consultant, lawyers, accountant, immigrant consultant, to find out tax implications, to find out what are the needs of that country, especially in Canada. And as Fazal mentioned, that we have a federal program, we have a special provincial program. So get a list, go to Google, you can go to canada.ca. There's a lot of information available for Canada. And obviously, you can call Laruen Cohen and learn about Florida. So search information, collect information, get your legal advice, and before you do anything, investment, there are tax implications and also legal fees. It could be residency requirement, employment, having sufficient funds to sustain your existence when you move here or get a work visa, or different process you go through. Get advice. You're watching Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. If you wish to advertise on Awaz TV in Canada, around the world, the number is on the screen. Please contact, and you get a special discount advertising package, especially for
Fine Foods, now open in Barrhaven area, Ottawa. Pick up or dine in. Also available on Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and DoorDash.
So Mr. Tahir had some technical difficulties. So we just want to thank all the viewers who watched this episode, and I hope you learned anything from this.
And thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to helping you with all of your cross-border needs on both sides of the border. Thank you, guys. again, stay safe and warm. Ciao for now.